I recently discovered some stunning statistics regarding the average American's finances. And although it somewhat gave me some sense of relief knowing that I'm not in this alone, there's plenty of other people that are also struggling to get by every day, but nonetheless, with inflation, I can only imagine things will just continue to get worse and worse from here. Lately, I had found myself living paycheck to paycheck, as I'm sure many of you do as well. And recently when my car broke down, I found myself not having a lot of money in my reserves to take care of it. So I had to go and put credit card money on it just so I can get back on the road, so I can continue to make that money to live paycheck in paycheck. And it was just a revolving cycle that I just felt like I couldn't get out of the way things were. And this was kind of a wake-up call for me when I realized that I needed to be smart with my money, because even if I was doing okay, getting by paycheck to paycheck, when issues that were unexpected arise, I needed to be able to cover those costs. So I started to seek out various ways that I can save a little money here and there that I know over time will compound and become much more than that. And when these issues arise in the future, I actually have something that I can use that's tangible and not have to rely on debt. So here are the 10 money saving hacks that I've adopted that have helped supercharge my finances in 2023. Now, the first hack I have for you guys is to try intermittent fasting. Now, for those unfamiliar with this popular trend, intermittent fasting is an eating pattern that cycles between periods of eating and fasting. It does not specify which foods you should eat, but instead when you should eat them. Now, why would I suggest a diet as the first thing, and how's this more importantly going to save you money? So since this diet involves eating in an 8-hour window and then fasting for the remaining 16 hours of that 24-hour period, you are forcing yourself to eat all of those calories within a shorter time frame. And as your eating window shrinks, you'll be less likely to buy food out of impulse. Plus, by only eating maybe 2 meals a day in that 8-hour period, even though you're getting the same amount of calories in, you're not wasting as much food. And this is done by reducing the types of meals that you cook. So say you go to Costco and you buy a bunch of food in bulk, and you know that those rations are set for that day, you're going to use all of that food. Plus, you're getting it at a much lesser cost than if you were to just buy individual servings at, say, a higher end, more expensive food chain. And that adds up a lot over time. So a common way that people do this is they eat between the hours of noon and 8 p.m. And within that 8-hour time frame, they're eating their 2 big meals, or they're eating throughout the day, and then they really only have to fast from 8 p.m. to 12 noon the next day. So they essentially fast overnight and then they skip breakfast. Personally, for my window, it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. because I work out really early in the morning and I like to get a lot of those calories to refuel my body before work. And I just eat throughout the day, and then I just typically eat really early in the day anyway. So at 5 p.m. I am pretty much done and I can go the rest of the day without really being hungry. And I emphasize putting this as my number one because not only has it saved me money, but it's also helped me get in really good shape. It's helped me feel a lot better. It's helped me sleep better. And it's just been an overall great addition to my life. All in all, I've noticed my total food spending has dropped by $100 to $200 a month simply by intermittent fasting and buying food in bulk instead of buying groceries on a whim and impulse and eating out as much. The next thing is to write a list before you go shopping. And this is going to help you save money in a lot of ways. First, it's going to help you not make impulse buying decisions because you have a set list and you know to stick to it. This is also going to help you remember to buy those items now instead of in the future, because if you forget to buy them now and then you have to run to a store that's more expensive later, and then you're factoring in gas and you're factoring in spending a premium, then that could save you money over time as well. Third, this helps you prioritize your purchases. That way you are spending your money on what is important and what is necessary, and then you know what you have left over for things that may not be as important. So this also works for more than just buying food. This also works with buying lavish clothes you probably don't need, but you go into a store and you just feel like you have to have this. But if you already have a set list going once a week and you know your boundaries and what not to buy, it helps you just stay focused and centered. It was crazy when I did a bank audit and I saw just how much spending I did on miscellaneous stuff that I really didn't need, but I bought out of impulse. And it really just hit me that, oh my God, if I would have saved a couple $1,000s last year just doing that alone. And the bonus hack here in this category is do not go food shopping when you are hungry, because you will buy way more than you need and you will come home with 18 bags of corn chips and it's just not good. Half my bank statement is corn chips. The next money hack I have for you guys is to do a subscription reset and to unsubscribe from unwanted or tempting emails. There's a big reason that marketing departments within companies spend a lot of their resources on email marketing. It's because it works. The opening rate can be high, and when you're already interested in a product and you see an email for something that has a sale that you've kind of just been eyeing yourself on that product, but thinking, okay, if it's 40% off, then maybe I'll do it. And then around the holidays, you get that email and you end up buying more than that. Not only that, but so many services are now going off a subscription basis, and they are really trying to make their subscriptions as low as possible to get you to just say, all right, it's only $10 a month. When you're adding Amazon, Hulu, Disney, Prime, all of that stuff, it adds up over time. And then those $10 purchases here and there collectively can be hundreds of dollars that you could be saving, considering you probably don't even watch most of those streaming services anyway. So I recently went and did a unsubscribe cleanse, which I don't know if that's a coin term, I'm coining it, but I went into like Amazon and I was seeing like my managed subscriptions, and I saw that I rented a movie recently and I forgot that I got a free trial for Showtime, and I was being charged like $14.99 a month. So I said unsubscribe, and then I also went into my emails and I just unsubscribed from all that stuff that I just wasn't getting like significant value from. That was tempting. I think that just after the start of the new year is like the perfect time to do this unsubscribe cleanse. And if you're watching this video when it came out, it started the new year, so get on that. You're gonna be saving a lot of money, I promise. Let me know in the comments how much that you were spending on subscriptions that you didn't even realize you had. The next hack and challenge is to try to do a month where you're just buying in person. I know it's gonna be a very tough one for many of you because Mr. Bezos has just made it so easy nowadays to buy anything at the snap of a finger on Amazon, and it's like a love-hate. But if you can try and do this for a week, even just to experiment, you will see that there are so many advantages to doing this. You're gonna have less options and you're gonna be less susceptible to manipulation. Shopping in person is much more difficult to persuade. You can really only work when you have just a very lavish display at where you're going, or if you have a dedicated employee that is just on your butt trying to ask you if everything's okay and then help you try to make that purchase there. But it's far less likely to work than just a random click of a button online. Treat this as a detox for internet spending, and then also do an audit and see just how much you're spending online versus in person at the start. And then a couple weeks into it, reassess and then check how much your spending has changed, how much you've saved, and what you would have bought otherwise online had you didn't do this cleanse, and how much money you saved. The next hack here is to go cash only. And I was gonna say a cash only month, but I know that's very challenging. And I know that there's also a lot of companies that no longer accept cash. And there really is a reason for this. So companies go through tremendous measures to hide the fact that people are actually parting ways with physical cash. And I've noticed that when I carry physical cash on me, I'm a lot likely to reassess my purchases and be like, do I really want to part with this? Versus just a swipe of a plastic card that you don't really care like where it's coming from or where it's going, or if it's money that's even yours, or if it's credit. You're just like, swipe, done, have it. This is why so many of us, myself included, have gotten themselves in a lot of debt in the past, and it's just so easy to spend money you don't have when it's just you really want this item that you're just very persuaded to get. You have this card that has a limit and you don't think about the ramifications. You just swipe and you're on your way and you got what you wanted. So now I try to just carry cash only as much as I can. I've noticed that I spend far less, and I challenge you guys to do the same and let me know your experiences. The next is a play out of our grade school days, but it is bring your food to work. If you're an hourly employee, then you realize that when you're buying your lunch, you're basically sacrificing probably an hour of the time you're there to just eat. And chances are that money that you are spending to eat out during lunch is at a premium versus the money that you are spending when you are bringing your food each and every day. Not only that, but the food that you're eating out with is probably far less healthy for you than the food that you could be preparing for yourself at home. And many restaurants and fast food joints go out of their way to make the food like look good and sound healthy, but not only are the portions typically very small for what you pay, but the food's also really processed and unhealthy for you. So see if you can go a month preparing your food ahead of time and then bringing that food to work, and then just see how much you saved over that time versus the month before when you spent, I don't know, like $15 a day, 5 days a week at wherever you were going. The next thing I really like to do is to have a no spend day. Have you guys tried that before, where you try to go the entire day without spending any money? So I've not only learned to make this fun and gamify it, but it has saved me a ton of money. So there's days where I want to go and spend $6 on a latte or something. And then I remember I have a no spend day. And then I'm forced to go into the break room and drink free coffee, which might not taste as good, but it has the same effects. And I saved that $6. And over a course of a week, that's $30. So to do this successfully, you are going to have to be calculated and be prepared. You are going to have to bring your food to work, but it's going to help keep you dialed and keep you not having to make impulse purchases that you really didn't need. I think the money savings here comes to taking advantage of the amenities that you have at your disposal instead of going outside of them to spend a premium on something similar when you can just get the same effect at your office. This next one I've been doing for as long as I can remember, and I think collectively it's probably saved me the most money, and that is to buy used. I think I discovered this at a young age that I've really come to enjoy because my mom volunteers at a thrift shop and she always comes home with all these things that have been barely touched that she got for pennies that were hundreds of dollars. She just brought home like a nice Keurig that I looked online. It was $4.99 at Target and she got for free. And since I've seen all these crazy savings and come ups over the years, it's really made me like enjoy trying to find things at a reduced cost. I love going to thrift stores, like designer thrift stores, and finding like brands that I would wear regularly that are very expensive. And I would see them for like $5, $10, $30 for shirts that cost hundreds of dollars, and I immediately take it. And then I like to think about what I would have spent if I got it at retail, and it's insane. And not to say that I would have bought it at retail, so it's like, did you really save money? But there's a lot of times where, yeah, I would have actually bought something like that. And yeah, over the years, it's saved me so much money. You could do this with clothes, you could do this with electronics, you could do this with furniture. I probably just wouldn't maybe do it with shoes, maybe? Probably don't want to do it with shoes. I think this is a great habit to form, and it's a great hack because you can save hundreds of dollars on things that you may actually need. So I actually bought my camera on eBay and I saved like $300 new versus had I have gone on even Amazon and gotten it. I think this is also a really good idea to incorporate with vehicles. All the cars I've had before have been used, and I have saved so much money doing that way. According to AAA in August of 2022, the annual cost of new car ownership crossed $10,000. That's over $800 a month. I think that's insane, and if you're making a modest salary, that's probably almost half your paycheck. So if you can buy a car straight up used and then you don't have to make those monthly payments, you're going to save so much money in the long run. If you live in the city like I do, then maybe you can humble yourself and use public transportation. Or another alternative is you can sell your car and you can get something like an electric bike. My best friend is actually one of the founders of a company called Super 73. I think they are the best electric bikes in the world. I'm not associated, no affiliate codes or anything like that, but I have one. I've used it for years. I have over 2,500 miles on mine, and it is the best part about my morning because I drive and I go on the bike path on the beach right to work. It's like jump starts my day, and I don't spend any of that money on gas, and it has saved me so much money. The next hack is to declutter and go minimalist. This means selling old stuff that you do not use anymore in order to free space, and this could be done by selling things on eBay or to friends or a black market, or I don't care how you get it done, but get that cash, clear your space. So I've never been a huge fan of mess. I'm pretty OCD, and it's really hard for me to focus when I have a room full of junk. And decluttering is going to help you tremendously in two ways. First, it's going to help you make money. You're going to sell stuff that you don't need to get cash that you didn't have. And it's also going to help you free space in your house that you also didn't have. And it's going to save you energy and time cleaning that stuff that you didn't need in your house in the first place. And I think earning more money while doing less dusting is a win-win, no? The next hack is to hide your search. And if you're a weirdo like me, you always wanna delete that history. If I die, don't check that, all right? But no, I don't know if you guys heard of cookies, not the Cookie Monster, but cookies are tracking in your computer. And when you search for something, that cookie latches on to what you searched and it keeps coming back. And when you close your browser and you reopen it and you're looking for something else, you're going to see pop-ups on the side for that thing. And it's basically just trying to remind you that, hey, don't forget about me. Go to that checkout cart. And that is going to add to your impulsive temptation to buy it. So in order to do this, go into your settings and delete your history when you exit out. And you could set it to always do this when you close out, or you can set like a new private window and go incognito, and then you won't have all those cookies bugging you. Thank you guys, if this is the first video you are watching of mine, welcome. You're the homie. If you made this far, like this video, subscribe. Let's keep in touch. Let's keep doing this. I'm making videos every week on optimizing your mental, physical, and financial health. Let me know in the comments what hacks that you have implemented before that have helped you save money, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.